Yo, what is good, guys? I want to talk about one of the primary questions that I always get asked. Paule, how did you move to Colombia? How'd you move to another country? What the fuck? And I'm going to answer this with a story because it is my truth. Back in grade 10, I was forced to make a decision. I had to leave everything I knew in the town I grew up, or I could stay in the town I knew, but I had to fend completely for myself. And so in grade 10, back in high school, I got slapped with a pretty massive charge, armed robbery with deadly weapon ×2. Ended up in court. It was a whole thing. I got caught selling drugs multiple times. Not caught multiple times, but caught once, and I was on the radar and everything like that. And my parents weren't having it. They're like, that's it. Like, you either are coming with us. We're moving to a place called Mississauga. If you know Mississauga, shout out. MDV, Money, Drugs, Violence, is the short abbreviation for Meadowville Town Center. If you know that area, you know it's not the best area. I didn't know this information, though, right? Prior to this. All I knew was, hey, I grew up here. These are my friends. This is what I know. How am I, like, I'm not leaving. Fuck this, right? And to be honest, I had to make a decision, right? And in the end, I made the decision to go. So I ended up moving to this place called Mississauga, and I was living at my dad's house where my sister was there as well. It was me, my dad, my sister. And I did not, I didn't slow down on any of the things that I should have slowed down on. In fact, I put the gas or my foot on the gas pedal even harder. But the point of why I said I want to answer this with a story is because when people ask me now, Paule, how did you just, move to Colombia or a different country? It's like, for some people, that is a really big deal. But when I had to think about this in my head, I was like, oh, I'm able to just pick up and move, and it means absolutely nothing to me. Like, there's no fear, there's no nothing. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll go there. Third world country, doesn't even speak my language, literally. But the reason I'm able to do that is because if I reflect back on when I got plugged out of, my everything I knew, that was a big deal for me then. So now when something like this comes up, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm used to this. I can start from scratch, right? Same way I'm starting this channel, from scratch. It means nothing to me. And honestly, I got to say, that is such a blessing in disguise. It's a double-edged sword, but oh my God, I couldn't even imagine if I still lived in the town I lived in. The town I grew up in was called Bolton, Ontario. If you know, like, the GTA of Toronto, it's about like maybe 40-minute drive from Toronto. Closest like main city is like Brampton, small town Bolton. But that was my life. That's what I knew. That's where I got my start in life. That's where shit really started getting real, and that's where I started growing some roots, right? Again, leaving everything you know. Think about it for you. Have you been in a situation like that? Have you been plugged out of, the area that you knew, the friends that you grew bonds with? But I got to tell you, at the end of the day, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because at first I didn't want to leave, obviously, right? Because you're leaving everything you know, and that can be scary, right? It's like, what the fuck am I going to do in this place, this new place? But when I moved, just from the slight difference of Bolton to Toronto or Mississauga, it was like this. My mindset in Bolton was this. It's all I knew, right? And if you're listening to this, I'm making a closed fist. But when I moved to Mississauga, it was like it slowly started opening. It started giving me new experiences, showing me that, oh my God, there's more to life than just this small town. And then after Mississauga, I moved out at around 17, 18 years old, and I moved downtown Toronto. And what happened again was that close fist went a little bigger, and then I went backpacking to Asia with my 3 best friends. And then it really put me on the map to think, damn, what the fuck was I doing this whole time in Bolton? And look, for anybody that's still living in Bolton and shit, I'm not shitting on you, but I know personally, for me, my experiences, I couldn't do that, knowing what I know now, right? Like, literally. But again, I guess that's really just what I wanted to come on here today and talk about, was because your perception of how you view things is absolutely crucial, because you can look at something and say, absolutely not, I'm not going to make this work. And you will exactly be correct. You will not make that circumstance or that situation work, right? But if you are open to new possibilities and you are open to, new experiences, the world is truly your oyster. Like, it really, really is. And the more you start to practice that in life, the easier life comes. And I think I'll end this off with a little bit of a quote. Or maybe it's not a quote, but it's, I don't know. We'll figure this out as we go here. But basically, if you look at an oak tree, it's a very stiff, strong tree, right? But when a hurricane hits, the only trees that actually survive hurricanes are bamboos. Why do you think that is? It's because a bamboo tree can sway back and forth and handle the triumphs and the differences and everything like that. An oak tree is planted in its roots, and when enough pressure comes and hits that oak tree through the wind, that shit just falls right over, implodes, tips the fuck over. So I'll end it off with that, guys. I'm starting to have fun with this now, starting to find my little groove. Again, appreciate you for tuning in, and let me know if there's anything you want me to answer in the comments. I got time. So peace out and enjoy your day.